Buenas noches, everybody. Welcome to Let's Build It. Let's get straight back into what we were doing. But we will do the chapel, aided by the bat. Would the chapel, even in a slum, would it have stone? Would it be like the only thing made of stone because it was a chapel and therefore sacred? I think it would, wouldn't it? So we'll do cobble. Where's the cobble? Not the rich brick of the keep and whatnot, just cobblestone. And we still need our edges. So if we do, yeah, I would say I want to make this sort of the focal point. So here and then 10 and then bang. I want to do maybe sort of a 10 in the middle by 10 in the middle. So like it would be 12 by 12 on the outside. Like this sort of thing because the chapel, but then you want to make it a bit longer, wouldn't you? Because it's going to be a lot of slum thingy. Yeah, if we make it 20 in the middle, 10 long by 20, 10 wide by 20 long, I'll do. It's a bit tall, isn't it? Mind you, it should be, shouldn't it? Because it's got to be the focal point, so yeah, we'll do that, Boom. See, it's easy how it all comes together. And as I say, this is how I do my buildings. I make a box. Normally I don't start the inside. Normally I do make a full box, or well, I'll say box. I make the shape of what I want to build, and then from there, the best thing to have done would have been the delegate's house, because I actually did the roof aside. I did that how I normally do things. Maybe at some point I will do a let's build of the let's build. That sounds a bit odd, but you know what I mean. I will do a thing just to show how I build things normally. Maybe if I do the abbey after I've done the slums instead of the farm, I can show how I do the build style of my normal buildings, because I say it's with the slums, it's absolutely I can't get rid of it. It was an idea, but it didn't work out. With the slums, it's absolutely not how I build, and in fact, as I said, apart from the delegate's house, none of what I've built is how I normally build houses. So I need to change that at some point, as I say. Put my own little personal touch in. This is kind of my personal touch, but it's not. I'm adding the definition, the depth, but I'm not adding exactly how I do. I'm trying to. I guess this is, except this is a box, and I don't normally do boxes, because I'm going to do the roof how I would normally do them as well. There's a pig inside the church. There is and filthy swine inside my church. Oh dear. Yeah, if I make the floor sort of dark oak, why am I doing that? I've got a bit wrong. Sorry, I got distracted with the thinking of floor, and then floor got put into my head. And but you know, I'm making a second floor for my church, which wouldn't happen here. Towards the back, it would, because. Or somewhere around there, because we need to have somewhere for the preacher, pastor, clergyman, religious person to live. Unless I just sort of do something attached to the church, or chapel, whatever. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So, we'll take a quick break from that to do this. rectory? Is that where the clergymen live? Where like preachers and stuff live? They live in a rectory. Either way, I now have built one of those. Just because. But I don't know. Because the say posh, the normal people, the people who live in the keep, you see that's their church. It's made out of stone brick. The houses are made out of cobblestone. It's made out of stone brick. The roof is made of wood. With this, okay, yeah, right. That's what I can do. Apologies for any yawning noises as well. It is, as I say, it's very warm here, and I'm only just sort of getting back on my feet to where I can have sort of somewhat of a normal pattern. Oh, wait. It's been that long since I've done my normal style. It is. Right, it's on there. Basically, I do a couple versions of it. There's one that I'm going to do, which is 2 steps up like this, followed by a block. As you can see, it's starting to take its shape there. And then we can do a bit more. I think maybe one more on each side to do it. There we are. Like you. Yep, one more each side. And just because it's the top. Bang. And that's basically how I do my roof. I'd say it can be really tricky when you're doing like sort of L shapes or various different shapes of roof. Just because you've got to make it still look good while doing the job it does. It's a bit of a faff. I mean, it can be done. I have done it. It just, they never look right to me, if you get me. Nothing's ever really good enough. Put you there. Put you there. And then I can put the final touches. Boom. And there we have the, and now what you do is with the inside, we're making it out of the dark oak, so whoops, I mean, I should have done in the first place, but never mind. You can do another type which is less focused on being tall like this and is more about sort of the gradual slope, which is 1 and then a block up and then 1 and then a block up. You can do 3 and then a block up if you want it to be, you know, a bit different. I'd say there's different ways of doing it, but this is how I do it. I see that it looks kind of cool. I like ideally to have just 1 thing in the middle instead of 2 like this, so I can do a kind of spire-y thing. Just how I prefer to do it. Doesn't always work, especially, basically you can tell if you've got a double wide door, then you'll have a double wide roof, is how it sort of goes. And me with my double wide door has a double wide roof. There we are. Up and one more. Up. And that's how we do that. So now you have how you want to do this, and there's different ways of doing it. The best way to do it is to make it look layered, I guess is the term. It's the best way to do it. You make it look layered while sort of making it not look too unrealistic, I guess. It can be a bit tricky, especially when it comes to... I just went the long way around there. See things like this, and then we put another stair below. But instead of doing a stair, I'm going to do a slab, you see. So it's there, and then that. So it's more outwards. like this. As I say, I find it best doing that sort of thing. It just allows you to make the roof look less just sort of blocky, because I find that a bit of a problem. Having a blocky roof, it just looks horrible to me. But again, you know, people have their own different style of doing things, and if that's how you want to do it, then you do it that way. Is that even? I think that's even. Yeesh. And then again, we continue up, and the annoying thing, as ever, about the Xbox version is there is no copy paste. So basically, you just have to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. I brought it out of time lapse so you can see one of the things you have to do as well. You see here, I did a bit of a change up. Basically, you've got this here, but you also need to bring it down from each end as well. Roughly, it's just past the middle is this. So if I just sort of do that, and then basically mirror is what you want to do. You want to mirror what you've done. So you were there, and then you went there. You were there. Bush. Like that. And then we had up here. No, we didn't have you. Like that, yeah. So that would be your middle, and then you want to replicate that, but you also need the slope to go down from each side. And this is a thing, when I go back in the time-lapse in a sec, you'll see it's a bit... It's trial and error, basically, because you've got your top here, and then so you want to go one down, maybe, but then you've got this, and you don't want it to look crap, but at the same time, you don't want to make it look too weird. It's a hard line to follow. Basically, trial and error is the best thing to do, but from here you want to sort of make this go down here like that, I guess. And you will leave gaps as well. I will say, in your roof you will leave gaps, but it's not, I mean, if you use slabs it's not too bad. You can just go in and refill them with slabs. But see, like here I've got a bit of it, and then bang, see, that would be one side of the roof. That's this corner done, and it looks okay. You know, it's a bit of a slope, but not too much of a gradient on it. It's not bad. And then if I just do that, there, you see, and that's one part of the roof. You look at that, that looks like a complete roof. It's brilliant. Not that side, but that side. And that's what you want to do, but the important thing is to try and replicate it. I've done some horrible errors before, where I've done that on one side and it looks all kind of cool, and then the other side I've not followed the pattern exactly, and then it just looks all kinds of weird because you've got the wrong sort of pattern there. So you might want to just be a little cautious of that when you're doing it as well. But back to me time lapse. Okay, so that there is me finished roof. You've seen that now. Haboosh. And it looks alright. I'm not fully satisfied with it, but it looks kind of cool for what it is. We just need to finish the walls now. But that there is how I do my roofs. As I say, I prefer a single wide roof, which is tricky because I like double wide doors. But it does look better with a single wide roof. But that's how I do them. As I say, there's different ways of doing that. Even then, you can mess around with, instead of going 2 steps then a block up, you can go 1 step then a block up, or 3 then a block up. It's up to you. It's up to how big the building is as well. But me, I tend to build biggish houses because it's Minecraft. You know, it's a time of fantasy, so that's what you want to do. So that's what I do. As I say, this is the closest to how I build my houses, even though it's just a box. For the Abbey, like I said, once I've done the slums, which again will all be time-lapse, because you don't need to see me do that, just slowly, bit by bit. But once we've done that, I will move on. I will do the Abbey. It's 20, isn't it? That would be wrong to do because I'm just thinking space-wise as well, so we need a gap and of 1 and then... Oh, that was idiotic, wasn't it? Just straight away, just wrong. And then towards the back. Whoops. It was 3, wasn't it? 3 by 3? Yeah. Then a gap of 1. See, and already you've added more to it by doing that. It looks better than just this is square block. You know? I just think it looks cooler that way. Two, yeah, perfect square. And then we'll go to do the same on the other side. We can't fully do the same on the other side though, because you know what? It's a church, it's supposed to be, although it'll look better than the other one that way, so no, we won't do that. We'll just do the 3 by 3 instead. Thanks for tuning in this week, everyone. Hope to see you all soon. Adios.